When you have mixed fractions, there are two different methods for adding them. We can't just get a common denominator right away and add them. We've got to do something else first. So one way is to change each of them to improper fractions. 3 1/3 is the same as what over 3 as an improper fraction? 10 over 3. And how did you do that? 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. And 1 1/4 is the same as 5 over 4, because 4 times 1 is 4, plus that extra 1 gives us 5 over 4. Once you've changed it to improper fractions, now adding them is the same as we did before. What do we need to add fractions? Find a common denominator. What would be a common denominator with 3 and 4? 12. So once I've got them as improper fractions, I get a common denominator. It's going to be 12. I'm going to need to multiply this 3 by 4 to do that. So I have to multiply the 10 by 4. 4 times 10 is 40. In order to get our second fraction to have a denominator of 12, I'm going to need to multiply that 4 by 3. So I have to multiply the 5 by 3, which is going to give me 15. Add them up. What is 40 plus 15? 55 over 12. And there we have our final answer. If we wanted to, we could change it back into a mixed fraction. How many 12s, how many full 12s are there in 55? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 4 12s makes 48. So we'd have 4 full ones, and there would be 7 left over. So this is equal to 4 7/12. The second method for adding mixed numbers is to write your 3 1/3 as 3 plus 1/3, because that's what 3 1/3 is. To write your 1 1/4 to be 1 plus 1/4, because that's what it is. And then you would have the following. 3 plus 1/3 plus 1 plus 1/4. And if we add things together, what is 3 plus 1? We get 4. So I can write this as 4 plus 1/3 plus 1/4. And if you just added the fractions, if I wanted to add my 1/3 plus my 1/4, I need a common denominator. What is it going to be? 12 again. So we'd still have my 4 here, plus if I wanted to make this over 12, I need to multiply this 3 by 4. So I'd multiply this 1 by 4, and I would get 4 over 12. And if I would want to make the second fraction over 12, I'd have to multiply this 4 by 3. So I'd have to multiply that 1 by 3, giving me 3 over 12. And now, what is 4 over 12 plus 3 over 12? 7 over 12. So I have 4 plus 7 over 12, which, if you write it as a mixed fraction, that is 4 7/12. Did I get the same answer? Yes. So you have to decide, for adding, what do you like better? Do you like adding the whole numbers together and adding the fractions together, doing that separately and then putting it together in the end? Or do you like changing it to an improper fraction first, then adding it? Have you added mixed numbers before? How many people have remember doing the improper fractions as the method? Method 1. How many people remember doing method 2? So some of you did both. Some of you, how many have never added mixed fractions before? Just Ryan?
No, wait.
Yeah. Okay. And you are using which method? Method 1, where
Method
you the improper fractions, or adding the numbers together?
adding adding these numbers.
Okay. All right. So he's using method 2. So we'll write here, I'll split the page in half. He's going to do method 2 over there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. First you have the 3 and the 2 over 5 plus 2 and 1 over 4. Then you add the 3 and the 2, which is 5. Then you have 5 times 4 is 20. It's 20. So you have to times the 1 over here by 5 and this by 4. So that would be 8 over 5. Then you add them together, which
Good.
is
And you put a plus sign in there too. Good.
okay. And that equals to 5 and 13 over 20.
Excellent. Excellent. Method 1 was the improper fractions. So if you tried method 1, where you did the improper fractions, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2. This is 17 over 5. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 gives me 9 over 4. Now I still need a common denominator here, which will be over 20 and over 20. I need to multiply my 5 by 4, so my 17 gets multiplied by 4. 4 times 17 is 68. Over here, my 4 gets multiplied by 5, so my 9 gets multiplied by 5. 9 times 5 is 45. I'm still adding, so I have 68 plus 45. That will give me 113 over 20. And if I'd like to write that as a mixed fraction, how many full 20s are there in 113? 5 20s would make 100. And if you would have how many left over? 13 20s.